Don't be talking a lot of trash to these policemen. They don't need to hear it. They got a bad day. You might have a bad day. Best thing to do is say yes sir, no sir, and if you got an honest pitch, go ahead. If you make my day. Now we've gone past that. You got the ticket. What are you going to do? Well, look on the ticket. See if he signed it. A lot of times they don't sign it. Guess what? If he didn't sign it, there ain't no sworn complaint. How can you defend against a non-sworn complaint? A lot of times the cop doesn't sign the ticket. Look. Open your eyes. God gave you a set of eyes. Look. Yeah, this guy didn't sign it today. It says, under penalty of perjury, I attest and certify that this is a true and fact complaint. Well, what happens if you don't sign that? It ain't a complaint.
Do you have to sign the ticket when the police officer pulls you over in that situation? Don't they make you sign the ticket?
Sometimes they do. If you sign it, put UD 1-207 without prejudice. That's saying that you received the complaint. That's all that's saying. All right?
So it's okay to do that then?
Yeah, but put UD 1-207. It's not an admission of guilt. It just means that you received the complaint. Okay? If you don't sign it, he's going to take you to jail. I mean, I realize that it's unconstitutional. Unless you like jail food, you know, I wouldn't do it. I'd sign the thing, UD 1-207 without prejudice. The signature doesn't do anything. Besides, you want a copy of the complaint anyway because you want to file a brief. And how are you going to file a brief if you don't know what the complaint is, right? Now, the next thing you know, you have to notify the court within the time period, and it's usually 10 days. One of their dirtiest tricks is you call in and you think you got it noticed, and guess what? They claim you didn't call in. And they go ahead and say you didn't show up. Then they find you guilty, and bingo, you're out of there. So I recommend you call them, tell them that you want a formal hearing, ask the name of the party you are speaking to. And who am I speaking to? So that you've got a name of somebody that works there to verify that you called. Then immediately or sooner, type up a little notice that says, I, state your full name, do hereby request a formal hearing. Put that in the mail, sent certified mail to them, or run down there and walk right in and get them to set up a hearing. Now, you want a formal hearing. Okay, now, 5 days before that hearing, you are required to serve your papers on opposing counsel. If you don't do it in a timely fashion, Michigan General Court Rule will sock it to you and you will not be able to enter your briefs. Now, sometimes you can get away with it the last minute handing it to them and they won't say nothing, but if they want to hammer you, they can use the 5-day court rule. I have used it effectively several times. Now, you look at what it says on the complaint, whatever it says MCLA, whatever you violated, and you go down and you go to the law library, you look up Michigan Miles Laws Act, you look up exactly what they say, and then you enter a defense. I neither admit nor deny, and I leave you to your strictest proofs in a competent court of original jurisdiction. But before we go that, depending on how you want to play, and there's several ways you can go. If you want to be the hardest-nosed that you can be, you walk into court and don't send no paper. And as soon as they call a case, you, as expediently as possible, you move to the forum up there in the front, and you say in a loud and clear voice, "Ready, Your Honor." You state your full name. I'm giving my appearance before the court in propria persona, which means in your own proper person. In this state, it's pursuant to Article 1, Section 13. I've appointed myself my own attorney, and I'm ready to proceed with my administrative and procedural matters. And at this time, Your Honor, may it please the court, I'd motion for dismissal with prejudice, failure to state a cause of action for which relief can be granted. And all of a sudden, the cop will go. Especially if you wear a army jacket and you look like you're 3 sheets in the wind. The cop will lean back and go, "Oh crap, we're going to get sued." I didn't know the guy was a lawyer. And then he'll start talking to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor will go, "Turkey, you brought me one of them kind. I'm going to get killed, and you're going to sit here and pay for it, I promise you." And then what happens is, out of your mouth, you tell the judge in the most clearest and expedient language, "Your Honor, may it please the court, is this a court of law or is this a court of equity?" He will immediately sound off with, "There's no equity here," just like he got hit in the knee with a hammer and his leg jumped. And just that fast. It'll happen that fast. Because he thinks there's no lawsuit here, therefore there's no equity. See, the judges don't even understand what happened with this shift from 1963 where they moved these courts together. So you got to find out what hat the judge is wearing. Is he wearing a criminal hat or is he wearing the civil hat? So you have a right to ask. You say, Judge, this is a court of law, or is this a court of equity? He goes, there's no equity here. Now, we just did this in a beautiful case. This little gal, she couldn't have been 80 pounds soaking wet. And this cop was about 6'2", about 320, big heavy-duty state trooper. She walks in. Your Honor, I am representing myself as my own counsel. I would like to proceed with my administrative and procedural matters. But before we go, I have a declaratory ruling, sir. Could I ask you a question? She goes, oh, sure, honey, go ahead. He says, but you understand, only a fool stands as his own attorney. She says, that may be, sir, but I'm the best person that knows the facts in my case, and I think I have a chance. I'd like to try. Is that okay? No problem. Yeah, right. Is this a court of law, or is this a court of equity? The judge immediately, there's no equity here. She said, thank you, sir. She rolled up her hand. In the hand was a ticket that said civil infraction right across the top, and she said, how may we hear this civil infraction, sir? The judge did a Homer Simpson. He goes, boom! So that's where you're going with this, huh? The whole court broke out laughing. This little gal, I'm telling you, she is this tiny little thing. She's just a sweetheart. The whole court realized the judge did a Homer Simpson. And then the judge realized he did a Homer Simpson, and then he busted out laughing. He goes, oh, honey, you're not going to pull that here today, are you? And she got a little flushed. She wasn't sure. This was her first time, and she was a little scared. She looked over at an associate of mine. She said, looked at him, and he gave her the nod. And she turned. She said, yes, I am, sir. And everybody broke out laughing again. The cop goes, well, if they're going to play around, I'm gonna put 15 over on the ticket, judge. And the judge goes, no. You got what's on the ticket. That's what's on the complaint. You're not changing the complaint after the fact. That's perjury. You want me to put you in the coolie? You know, you can't change the complaint. The complaint is the complaint. You signed it. It's true. Got me? If it was 15 over, you should have wrote 15 over. He said, well, I just don't want to screw around. This is getting out of hand. I mean, she was guilty. Da-da-da-da-da. And see, she goes, Your Honor, we haven't even gotten to that yet, Your Honor. There's no jurisdiction. This is where we're at. We're at no jurisdiction. It says, we're right. He said, are we going to go through with this now? Come on, tell me true. She says, yes, I am, sir. I'm going through all the way to the Supreme Court, she said. And the judge goes, okay, now, we're going to have to set a hearing. She says, and I'd like a formal hearing too, sir. He said, okay, and I'd like a trial by jury, sir, because the value in controversy is in excess of $20. Pursuant to the 7th Amendment, I have a right to trial by jury. He says, yeah, okay. We'll send you notice. It's been 3.5 weeks. We got no notice. We call them every day. They don't even want to talk about this case. The only reason they said that was so all of the poor little people in the back of the room didn't get the idea that they could get up there and do the same thing this little gal did. They're not going to call her back because they got no jurisdiction. They're not going to try that case because she's going to blow their doors off. Okay? Now that's one of the most beautiful texts and the fastest. And the last time I did it, it was before a particularly obnoxious judge. And he basically said to me, how many times have you pulled this? And I said, no, Your Honor, this would be, I think this is the 12th time. He said, going for lucky 13, eh? He said, this is very clever, he says, but I'm going to give you some advice, young man. Don't ever get caught doing nothing in my town. Got me? I said, sir, I never do anything. I'm trying to be a regular gentleman. He said, well, you better not get caught doing nothing, because I will hammer your tail. And I said, does that mean the case is dismissed, Your Honor? He says, it's dismissed. You're out of here. Now, I'm telling you this works, and it works real good. Now, the next effective step that you can do is you can turn around and ask the judge if he's a licensed attorney to practice law, because none of the judges are licensed. Take my word for it. Michigan Constitution says under the Adjudicature Act that they are required by law to have a license, that they are required to be licensed by the state of Michigan. The state of Michigan does not license attorneys. The Bar Association licenses them. They give them a P number and a card that says, yeah, you're a member of the Bar Association. But if you call up the Bar Association, they will tell you they don't give nobody a license. The state of Michigan doesn't give them a license. The Bar Association didn't give them a license. So what license could they be talking about? A Mickey Mouse license? Because that's the only one that's left. The state